Bad buy, the psychological trap that makes you waste money. Have you ever bought something just because it was on sale, only to never use it? Or felt instant regret after paying, realizing you just spent money on something completely unnecessary? This isn't just a bad habit, it's a psychological trap that controls most modern consumers. In this video, we'll uncover the hidden psychological mechanisms behind bad buying decisions, helping you recognize and escape the bad buy trap before it's too late. Don't let fleeting emotions drain your wallet. Let's dive in now. Have you ever been in this situation? Your home is filled with items you barely touch, some even unused. So why did you buy them in the first place? Every time you go shopping, do you realize that 30% of what you buy ends up unused? Your kids beg for new toys only to abandon them after just a few plays? You hesitate over a small purchase of a few dollars, but impulsively spend hundreds without thinking twice? If you found yourself in these situations once or repeatedly, you may be trapped in the influence of short-term emotions. Of course, children are especially susceptible to short-term emotions, leading them to demand new things constantly. This creates a never-ending cycle where parents spend excessively and homes turn into dumping grounds for abandoned toys. Worse yet, children's desires only grow stronger the more they are indulged. Where does this emotional trap come from? It stems from your surroundings. Supermarkets, online shopping platforms, and aggressive retargeting ads on social media like Facebook and TikTok. These platforms bombard you with images, stories, promotions, and urgency-triggering messages that stir your emotions. Even if you've been fooled a few times and learned from experience, marketing strategies designed to exploit your short-term emotions are becoming more sophisticated, making it harder to resist wasting money. Don't assume that the things you bought by mistake are insignificant. Add them up and you'll be shocked. And if we consider the unnecessary purchases your children make, the waste is even more staggering. How wasteful are we? Studies show that children waste up to 80% of the things they buy or ask their parents to buy. What about adults? If you have a high income and enjoy shopping, your waste percentage isn't much lower. A young working woman with a decent salary is likely to waste 70% of her purchases. Fortunately, as you age, this percentage tends to decrease. Life teaches lessons, and with time, you become wiser. How can you avoid the bad buy trap? This is a battle between logic and emotion during shopping. Most of the time, logic is stronger, but in the heat of the moment, emotions, especially short-term emotions, can overpower everything. At their peak, short-term emotions make you disregard logic completely, pushing you toward impulsive decisions. While these emotions typically fade quickly, sometimes they transform into obsessive emotions, which are even more dangerous because they last longer and exert an even stronger influence. Think of someone madly in love. Logic no longer applies. They become obsessed, willing to do anything for the object of their affection. Now replace a person with a high-end motorcycle, a luxury handbag, or a real estate investment. The effect is the same, an uncontrollable urge to buy at all costs. This is why shopping frenzies, like real estate booms, are driven by obsessive emotions. Many believe that investing in property guarantees profit, but the reality is that most people suffer losses. However, while those who fail remain silent, the few who succeed eagerly share their stories, creating a distorted perception that everyone is winning. This fuels the obsessive emotion trap, making people rush into investments out of fear of missing out. So what's the solution? You must anticipate short-term and obsessive emotions before they take control. In other words, let your logic set the rules before emotions can interfere. For example, when shopping at a supermarket, never walk in without a clear list. If you do, you'll fall into a carefully designed emotional battlefield meant to make you buy more than you need. Practical strategies. Predefine what you need and commit to not buying anything extra until all necessities are in your cart. Set a spending limit. If you plan to spend $30, allow a maximum of 110% of that budget. Pause for 30 seconds before impulse purchases. Ask yourself, how will this improve my life? How much time will I spend using it? Where will I store it once I bring it home? These questions awaken your logic and help you avoid unnecessary purchases. What about sales and discounts? Supermarkets always have promotions. You might feel lucky scoring a deal, but if you don't actually need the item, it's not savings, it's waste. For online shopping, always ask, checkmark, who is selling this product? Is it genuinely a good deal or just a marketing trick? Is this seller reputable? Over 90% of super deals online aren't as good as they seem unless they come from a trusted retailer. How do we deal with obsessive emotions? This is a much bigger challenge. Everyone at some point falls into this trap, but since this video is already quite long, we'll save that discussion for another time. Until then, think before you buy.